Hello, Sunshines, and welcome to episode 2 of deValiante Plays Far From Noise by George Batchelor. This game was part of Itch.io's bundle for racial justice and equality. This video contains mild language that may not be suitable for all audiences. Discretion is advised. Now, without further ado, let's get started. So, why were you wandering here? It's a strange place to be. I could ask you the same question. I don't really feel like talking about it. As you wish. And anyway, I totally asked you first. I drift as a cloud to the various places that call to my spirit. This is one such place to watch the world unwind. It's beautiful. I'm glad you agree. Not everyone can appreciate what lies before them. It's been oddly calming. I find it to be so. Do you always come here? I go where I am drawn to. These cliffs have always held significance. It seems the hands of fate pointed us both here today. Fate, eh? I would not doubt it. We were destined to meet, my antlered friend. Two souls tinged with the same hue. As it was foretold, they came together at the end of all things. The end of all things. Braced together in the absolute unity for the final rise and fall of its time's tide. And so it goes. How does this place feel? Strange to you? I don't know what it is. It feels significant. Like we're the only two left in the world. For all we know, we are. That doesn't bode well for the fate of the planet. The planet will continue on. Probably better off. What do you think it is? The significance? Everything? Combined? What you feel is sunbeams streaming through the sky. Weave through every hum of life on this cliff. Until they sing. The significance is the harmony. The sum of life. Is death involved in the sum of life? Death is essential in this scene. For the harmony of life rings only for the more pure, for its impermanence. Would any of this be quite so beautiful were it everlasting? Everlasting is an exhausting notion. Perpetually me. Perpetually here. In perpetuity. Then you can appreciate the poetry of transience and so shall read my tombstone. She perished violently in a fireball at the bottom of a cliff, appreciating the poetry of transience. If you like. I guess I just feel like a spectator. Spectator? Like, I feel like I'm looking at something. Not like I'm part of a grand, beautiful design. Largely down to your perspective. Like a narrow mind. An obscured line of sight. Obscured. Blurred. By the arrogance of youth. By the glass of the windows. Oh. You cannot hope to experience the universal totality and grace of nature when your view is warped from the outset. Even if I could get out and bask in the sunbeams or whatever, how am I supposed to feel all connected? You have to extend your mind beyond the car. What for? The car is insignificant in relation to the whole. It's significant to me when compared with the grand impression of the world on the mind, on the soul. The car is a minor detail. This car is my entire world right now. In this moment, that is how it feels. Your life hangs in the balance. The threads of your fate lay exposed. The car holds you captive. What matters is what is outside. Outside the car? Yes. Outside. Let's see, we have tree, sky, talking deer, whenever I have found myself in a worrisome situation, far from hope, far from resolve, I have always found the comfort to be in nature. What if your worrisome situation is nature? Sometimes you have to stand over the brink of fear in order to know truth, to stare into oblivion. The moment of perfect exhilaration will offer clarity, a tranquil restoration. This is your idea of tranquil restoration. Yes. It is a manner of thinking. It's a manner of death proximity, actually. But right this moment, you are given the chance to look. You are brought here to this grand spectacle for a reason. Here you can witness everything. Let the wind wash over you as a wave. Let the sunlight pour into you and fill your spirit. My spirit's already full. Think about it. About what? Your situation. Okay. You marked out your options yourself. My options. My options? Yes. Wait. Still? Wait. Still. In the meantime, you have an opportunity. I do. I invite you to focus your attention on the horizon. Just the horizon? The horizon. Focus. What do you see? Nothing. Look deeper. Truly look. Until the world slips away to nothing but you and the horizon. While days unfold, I find my sight fall to the sea. Time turns circles while the tide draws breath. I hover before myself, suspended over waves, like a bird. Along drifting currents, I sweep the surface to a fold. Where I become light, a flake of glass. The tide exhales, in transparency I return. It does make me feel kind of tiny. This I have found to be true. If you do not feel miniature, you are not looking far enough. So, I see what you mean. Like, look into the horizon. Or just around. And you can feel a connection. Something meaningful or deeper or whatever. Like you belong. I think that's what I'm looking for. You will not know until you let go. I'll try. Have you changed your mind? Will you share why you came here? Well, okay, I'll divulge. So, background check. Yes, I was studying. The study of what? Architecture. Architecture. Yep. Architecture. Buildings. There is beauty to be found there. There is. I've always been into it. Ever since I was a kid. You have always dreamed in structures. Pretty much. Well, I can theorize a pretty good reason why. Theorize away. So, my dad was always a total fanatic about wallpaper. Wallpaper. Why? He liked the patterns. I see. But he was a bit of a maniac. He'd always be coming home with new hot rolls. Like he'd just happen upon them somewhere. Our house looked pretty wacky. But it meant we were always tearing down old wallpaper. So we could use it. Use it. Yeah, we drew all over it. We just lie there on top of it with tiny little worn down pencils. Drawing for hours. For whatever reason, I always drew buildings. Usually bungalows. They're really good memories. It was the best. But my dad was always really encouraging about my odd little bungalows. He always seemed genuinely impressed and interested. Maybe because of that, I was super motivated to go into architecture. So I could draw buildings on wallpaper. Professionally. And so you came through the woods to the ocean for what? Inspiration? In a way. In a way, how? Well, I was studying it. Formerly. Now I'm not. checked the heck out. Abandoned my prospects of a good old life. What led you to leave? I don't know. I just didn't feel like I could do it. Like, I waited for such a long time. And when it came, it was so overwhelming. It wasn't what I had imagined. And I didn't feel like I could do it anymore. Maybe I'm not creative enough. What if you never went? What difference would it make? What else am I gonna do? You would figure it out. How? Whatever you are meant to do would make itself clear. Fall off this cliff? Perhaps that is it. Why not make this meaningful? I can't just decide to give things meaning. Surely that is all you can do. Then everything is meaningless. It only means nothing if you deem it so. So it all meant me dying in a car. It all meant something. But for now, perhaps it means watching the sunset on the edge of a cliff. Why did you come here? To see the waves and hope my life becomes clear. I thought if I looked out, I'd feel like everything matters. And does it? I don't know. It does not always work that way. I find some of the most important realizations come not in the moment, but after. In normality. When your mind wanders back to this place, then perhaps you will find clarity in clouded times. Well, if the engine eventually works, maybe I'll find out. Precisely. Life is not over. I suppose. We still have each other, right? That is enough. That is enough as in shut up, or that is enough as in we complete each other? That is enough. You're difficult. But I like you. And you. Oh, you're sweet. Where were we? Death. Death. The end. Or the beginning. Well, it's the beginning of being dead. Which isn't much of a start. It could be. Who's to say? Who indeed? You are you like the angel of death or something? What do you think? You definitely are. If it helps. It does. Why did you choose this place? Hidden away, lost in space. We used to come out here when I was a kid. I used to love it out here. I would count how many faces I could see in the rocks. So many wrinkly old raisin heads. Apparently, I used to call them my rock granddads. I thought I'd come back and see if the old rock dads had any advice for me. Do they? I haven't had a chance to ask them yet. Perhaps your chance will come. Right now, all I can see is the sea and sky. Perhaps your chance will come. What is it? A traveler approaches. What? Where? The turtle? It came from the rocks and the flowers. I don't see anything. Oh! I see it. I can't tell if it's moving rock or a turtle. I believe it is a tortoise. Close enough. God, it makes me all shivery just looking at it. Why? You have very high opinions of turtles, cowering in its shell of deceit. They are hiding something. All of them. I'm on to you, tortoise. Why do you hate the tortoise? I have my reasons. It means no harm. Look at it. You haven't seen them like I have. They're vicious. 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 I was traumatized as a child, all right? Oh, by a tortoise. Turtle. Different entirely. You know what their mouth is called? A beak. When I was like 9, my brother's friend brought his fun new pet around to our house. A fun little baby turtle. How fun. Imagine my delighted anticipation. Until I see it. Snarling beak snapping open and closed like garden shears. So they forced me to grab hold of its spiny husk. Its long snake neck wriggles out and twists around, and it bites me there and then, right on the arm. I'm still scarred. And it was a baby. Imagine what it could do now. It could slice my arm clean off. This little one does not look like it knows violence. How can you say that? Look at it! They're masters of illusion. Cuteness is a veil. Oh, hey, look, frog friend. A secret meeting. Be careful, Froggo. They're not to be trusted. Oh my god. It's like a turtle taxi. Oh god, I love that so much. I'm crying. I'm beginning to like turtles somehow. I'll see how I feel next time. Thank you for joining me for episode 2 of Far From Noise by George Batchelor. The next episode will be out shortly. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment letting me know what you like down below. Please no hate or spoilers, as I'm not above removing those comments and the people who make them. That's all for now, folks, and I'll see you next time.